David Bell's one of the best wide receivers in college football, and he blew up today, putting the team on his back to beat second-ranked Iowa by catching 11 balls for 240 yards and one touchdown. He was pretty much untouchable, unguardable, whatever you want to call it. He went beast mode, and we're here to watch the tape. All right, here's our first play that we're going to cover. David Bell's at the top of your screen. They're in shotgun, and they're headed towards the end zone. We're going to go ahead and run this baby. So here's the look of his release here. Nothing flashy, just straight up. And he's just getting to a spot. Now he's rounding out and looking back at the quarterback, and then breaking back upfield. So rounds out, flips them hips, just turns the head. So first when he rounds in, he's looking at the quarterback to sell it. Look at the DB here. He's biting in on that. The thing about selling routes is that you actually got to sell them. That's what David Bell's doing right here. The DB bites. When the DB bites and he flips them hips, the DB's done. DB does a good job of flipping his hips to make up for it, but just not good enough. David Bell's in position to make the play here, as you see here for the touchdown grab. It's a really good route here by Bell. And he's just super smooth. Looking back in, flipping it out, and just that quarter of a step ahead allows him to make that move and get open, create separation, and then get the score. Here's the same play from a different angle. So here we're seeing the release, and really it's just a quick release. He's just getting to a spot, and then he's acting like he's cutting in, using his head to sell the route, and then he flips his hips upfield. He's going up. DB's still looking in. So this allows him to get that separation that he needs. He doesn't need that much separation. He just needs some. And there he gets it. I think that DB does a good job minimizing the risk, even though he's beat. I mean, once you're caught in this situation here, there's not really that much you can do against David Bell. He's got you beat. But I think he does the right amount of footwork here, the good turn to minimize that. But Bell's got this all day, twice on Sunday, makes the grab. Let's go back to that release real quick. So here, smooth, right off the line, and then that cut. Right when he's making that cut, he looks in. DB's worried about that because he's going to have to cross that face and break that up if he gets the target. In, and cuts it up. While he's cutting it up, DB's still looking in for just in case he gets crossed up. Doesn't happen. Bell flips them hips, goes upfield, gets the target, gets the score. Great route by Bell. Here's our next play. Bell's at the bottom of your screen. He's on ball. He's got a DB over top of him, playing outside shade. He's about 4 or 5 yards off away from him. But we're going to go ahead and run this baby. So here's his release and what it looks like. So it's just straight up off the line of scrimmage, getting downfield, trying to get to a spot. Here we lose him. But obviously he's getting the target pretty quick. Quarterback steps up to make the throw. Pretty ball here. And looks like he's splitting the DBs to get the target. And look at that extension for the catch. Pretty catch right there. All out in front of him. And does what he can to cradle it in and get the yards. Ball placement is about as good as you can get. You could have got it a little closer to him so he could catch it in stride. But really, from this far away and how deep it is, just being able to get it to him in this fashion where he can make the play is really good. And the fact that he's able to come down with this catch, extend it out like that, just shows how good his ball skills is, how he's able to track it while it's in the air while he's running. We don't get a full depth on the route, but it's a skinny post. So you imagine he made his break and crossed the face of the DB. DB gave him some separation, and then Bell was able to get the target. But the catch here is probably the main thing that we want to look at anyways, and it's just him reaching out, full extension. route like this while running full speed at a full clip and making that grab. Another sexy play here by David Bell. Here's the next play. David Bell's not even on our screen. He's at the top here. He's on ball. And we're going to go ahead and run this real quick. We do not see hardly any of his route on this play. I just grabbed this clip online just to show you. And really, it's nothing world beating. It's him running. It looks like a post, skinny post or whatever. And him finding the hole in the zone, making the catch, hitting his hands, bringing it in, and going upfield. And that's pretty much what we got. So, again, on the catch, you see him up here, top of our screen right there, running the route. Finds the hole in the zone, earns the target. So here, slowly looking at the catch here. Hands out, hits him in the hands, and he's looking to get upfield. He's just umbrellaed by defenders, and they swarm in and get the tackle. Nothing world beating, but really I just want to show you as much David Bell as possible from this game, from the clips I could get, since it's still Saturday and not everything's posted online yet. So here he makes the grab by his hands, and he's just looking to get upfield. They swarm in on him real quick. But David Bell going off. I think he's had 100 yards in every game he's played in but one. Early breakout age in college. Broke out as a freshman at 18 years old with a good production profile. He's been productive his entire career, making big plays. And that's even with Rondell Moore there, him being able to ball out. And we're just seeing him just get better like a fine wine. And I think he's been underrated considering there's just a lot of good wide receivers in college football. This 2022 draft class has some good wide receivers at the top, especially at the top end. Talking about Traylon Burks, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. They kind of get lost in the shuffle a little bit. Drake London. And with David Bell being on Purdue, small market team, if you want to think of it in that way, kind of gets lost in the shuffle. But he is one of the best wide receivers in college football. He'll be one of the best wide receivers in the draft. He reminds me a lot of Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman, one of the best wide receivers in the draft last year, kind of got lost in the shuffle when it comes to how he was thought of among the draft community, fantasy football and whatnot, but a damn good prospect, just like David Bell right here. But keep an eye on him for the rest of the season because he's a straight baller. I want to thank you for watching the show, sticking with me. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. Every subscription matters. Fuels me to keep going over this content, going over the film, helping you with your fantasy teams, everything else. Again, I want to thank you, and I'll catch you next time.